Betty, of course, all about the fashion world, and we're talking about, well, maybe not so much the fashion world, but something very beautiful, henna tattooing. Joining me now is Brennan, who is a Mehndi artist.
Mehndi, it's like a base henna seller, so I'm a henna artist.
And you brought along your daughter.
This is Pooja.
And she's going to be one of the models that we can take a look at some of the beautiful work you do. Henna tattooing was a big trend in North America about a decade ago it started, but it's a much older tradition than that.
A lot of people don't realize it's about 9,000 years old, 60 countries, 6 major religions. It's done in the Jewish tradition, Sephardic Jewish. It used to be Christian before the Inquisition. It's Muslim, it's Hindu. It's been around. It's a beautiful, it's not just female, but we do pretty much use it in more female traditions for Sangeets, night of henna, and nowadays bachelor parties, yeah, sisterhood parties.
Just looking good before you go out.
Looking beautiful. I get a lot of things for like New Year's, graduations, and nowadays with things like Zardozi, where you can see the glitter that's put in it. You have to be careful. Some people will use a metal-based glitter. This is a cosmetic 0.08 grade glitter, so it's actually a skin safe, body safe. You know, if your dog licks it up off the carpet, no big deal. You know.
Let's go back a bit and talk about tradition. What is Mehndi henna tattooing usually used for?
As a rule, we're usually used to seeing it for weddings. We're used to seeing it on the bride, usually from here to here, from here, 2 days before the wedding. A lot of people see it on a bride and think it's like makeup or hair where they've gotten it done that day or that morning. It's actually done 2 days before.
And it's part of a whole ritual.
There's a big party.
Yeah.
There's a big bash, yeah, and it's usually singing and dancing and, you know, a lot of, you know, food and merriment and teasing the bride about the family she's going to be marrying into. And, you know, it's a really good time. And there's lots of different styles of henna. There's the stuff we're familiar with at pop-up tents, which is like the, you know, Mickey Mouse and little bear paws. And then this is a traditional, very simple Indian style.
Very intricate.
This is more of an Arabic style, and this is more of what we call Indo-Western or Bollywood style. And this is sort of what's big right now. This is also what you could, the color, this is actually not as dark as it's going to get.
Oh, it's going to darken over the next little while.
People get it done and they figure, oh, well, you know, I've gotten my henna done, how come it's orange? It has a color progression. It goes from oranges to dark browns to burgundies or almost a cherry black. Never black. Black is banned in Canada for a very good reason. There's no such thing as black henna.
Let's go back again now then and talk a little bit more about the safety, because you think about getting a henna tattoo, it's not permanent, it's something I can do, you know, a lot of people, folk festival, somebody sets up a tent, that sort of thing. Yeah, what harm can it be? But it can actually, there can be some harmful side effects if somebody's not using the right products.
Absolutely can.
You were talking about the black in particular, you want to avoid that.
The black PPD is actually banned in Canada. There's no such thing as colored henna. The color that you're seeing here is the only color it comes in. And if you find that it goes orange and never gets darker, part of that is because they're using bad henna. I actually have mine imported in because it's really tough to find fresh product. You know, in Winnipeg, it is an herb, and people will use the black, and that's actually a super concentrated form of black hair dye, and instead of just staining the skin, it goes into your bloodstream, and it can cause permanent contact dermatitis, scarring.
People can get allergic reactions to it too.
Severe allergic reactions,
really
hives, swelled up face. You see that mostly in like Mexico and Greece.
So if you're on holiday and you think of getting this done, you've got to be careful. But that leads me to my next question.
Very careful.
How do I choose, how do I know if somebody is good, if they're qualified, if they know what they're doing? I mean, not just about their artistry, but if I'm going to be safe?
Well, you know, that's a really good question because it is tough. At this point, I'm the only person certified in Manitoba and one of 3 in Canada, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the person that you're going to is not going to be good. Ask them what's in it. If they're trying to say, oh, I don't know, or they're giving you a runaround, maybe you should look into another vendor. Or if you say, well, what is the henna, and they can't say, like the botanical name of the plant is Leucina inermis. If all they can say is henna, and that's the best they can come up with.
Maybe.
You know, maybe, and ask what's in it. If they're saying that it's clove oils can be very harsh on the skin. In some places in India, they like to put gasoline in it. So don't assume that because somebody's from a specific ethnic background that they know anything. And right now, when you put up a pop-up tent, there is no jurisdiction. There's no... the price of putting up a pop-up tent is a pop-up tent. You are.
You are going to come back and show us how it's actually done. We're going to talk a little bit more about it, and we'll ask you a little bit more about how people can learn and how they can get it done by you. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with your forecast.